We're having some technical issues, guys, so I do apologize. I'm not sure what's happened. I can't hear Connor right now.
Right, I'm going to do this. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know what's going on. My what I'm seeing right now is I think Naoya Inoue's arm from the intro. Um, so I'm hoping that will just update itself at some point. If not, I'm just going to be staring at that. But hopefully the stream is all right. In fact, actually, whilst we do the intro, I'm going to check. But look, boxing this week 92, we're back. It is worth saying straight away, I've got an internet problem at the moment. Not sure why, but the stream, hopefully the quality will still be good. We've got a lot to talk about, but there might be a little bits of lag in here and there. So I do apologize. Right, let's get started with the smaller stories before we get into what's essentially been a massive pound for pound week. I think you guys can see me. I've just checked. So, right, smaller stuff, which is still not that small, is Abdullah Mason is defending his world title that he beat Sam Noakes for against Joe Cordina, a homecoming fight in Cleveland. I think all three of the Mason brothers are on the card. I mean, the other two Mason brothers not quite the same level of prospect that Abdullah was, but still very good. You've also got, I think, Bruce Carrington's on the co-main event of that, and Tiger Johnson as well. So you've got two homecomings in Abdullah Mason and Tiger Johnson. Bruce Carrington last time out landed that 5-piece combo to win the WBC title, and to be honest, has been kind of looking like he's going to do that kind of thing for a long time now. So that's a great event. I'm very excited for that. Do you think Joe Cordina's got a chance against Abdullah Mason?
Absolutely not. I'm just being honest with you. Like, it is literally. How do I put it? This is going to be a very one-sided fight. I like Cordina, but this is going to be a very one-sided fight. Abdullah Mason is going to pass it to flying colours. Joe Cordina is going to retire. This is what's going to happen. Mark my words.
Yeah,
like I just don't see Abdullah Mason losing this fight. Joe Cordina hasn't looked great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's Arjun, how you doing, bro? You're right. Apologies, we have having some just if you're seeing it, we just mentioned at the start of the stream again for people that have just joined. Couple of technical issues. Connor's internet down near the beach is absolutely scrambled right now. So his picture is a bit affected, but we still bring you this show every week, and that is for everyone else. We're talking about Abdullah Mason and Joe Cordina, though. But yeah, no, it's one-sided, Connor. Like, really one-sided.
Yeah, I think this is probably Abdullah Mason's hardest fight, though. I think he'll beat Cordina. I don't know. Look, if Cordina, that was about 3 years ago, before really the catchy, before he broke his hand and got stripped of the IBF, that Cordina I might have given a better chance. But the Joe Cordina we've seen recently, I don't think he's got anything that will trouble Abdullah Mason. Maybe experience, but then I don't know how much that's going to come into it. But it's a great event. It's a great event. I don't know if it comes under a Ring Magazine event. I think it is technically Matchroom and Top Rank have combined to do it. So I'm happy to see that. Other fight announcements. The Fish is back. Errol Spence Jr. versus Tim Tszyu. Now, we've been saying this for months. We've had, honestly, the last 6 months, I feel like in these little weekly roundups we start with, we've been saying Errol Spence Jr. could be coming back. And finally, it's announced 6 days ago, I want to say, that he is back against Tim Tszyu, July 25th, 26th, depending on which part of the world you're watching from, but 25th, Australia. And then they had the official press conference, launch conference, whatever you want to call it, where things got quite heated. But I like this fight. I don't like the fact it's pay-per-view, though. Got to be honest. Just want to throw that out there.
It was selling America, though.
Yeah, true. Errol's still a big name. Tim Tszyu's a big name. Yeah.
Errol's a big name. Tim Tszyu's a big name. It makes sense, but I more so would be worried at the price that they're putting out, because we know how the Americans like to outprice themselves. $30 is the going rate I'm hearing, and $50 not $30. Sorry, $50 is the going rate on an American pay-per-view stream nowadays. $50 to $90. I'll tell you something now for the Americans that may or may not watch this. We have a saying in the UK: "Your pants have been pulled down." Yeah,
Yeah,
Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu pay-per-view makes sense, but how well it does, I think, is dependent on the price of pay-per-view, because we know that's been a factor in the past in how badly events have gone.
yeah, true. What Errol Spence shows up, because Tim Tzew's a weird fighter. I mean, he had a very close fight against Sebastian Fundora, where if he didn't get a massive cut, he probably wins, and then he's a world champion. Since then's looked, I don't want to say rubbish, but we can call a spade a spade. He's not been great. And then Errol Spence's last fight was 2023 against Terence Crawford. So I don't really know what we can take from that. I expect Errol Spence to win. It's at 154, by the way, just for anyone that is wondering. Errol has finally moved up.
Yeah.
But 3 years of inactivity.
I don't know what Errol's going to turn up, because he got absolutely plummeted by Terence Crawford. You know that? Like, Errol Spence, we were talking about Errol Spence like we speak about Haney, like we speak about these guys when Errol Spence was boxing, and rightly so, because of what he'd done. That was a humongous fight. However, after that fight, I thought that he turned into like what's the like when you go to you see like a white collar boxing match, someone looks like they know what they're doing and they just don't.
Yeah.
That's what Errol Spence looked like against Crawford. He looked all over the place. That weren't the Errol Spence I recognized from, and I'm talking, rewind it right back to Errol Spence going to the mighty town of Sheffield to fight Kell Brook. Rewind it to that Errol Spence. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same. 3 years inactivity in the ring might kill him. Like, might kill his just momentum. It's a massive fight to take back, considering, like, look, listen, I know Tim Tszyu hasn't had the best of times recently, but it's a hard fight to take, considering you ain't fought in 3 years. He's not really doing it easy for himself, because you think the plan would be to go in there with somebody who's going to give you 5-6 rounds, maybe get back into things, and then from there you can go into a fight like Tim Tszyu, and where more of the question, where does Errol want to go though? Because if he wins his fight, what's the plan for him? Because win his titles back?
I'd assume it's Sebastian Fundora. There's back and forth between them. Errol was actually mandatory for that after the Crawford fight, and he was kept there for about a year and a half because the 154 was so lacking in who was there. Obviously now we got Boots. We could get Boots versus Errol Spence. If Errol Spence is anything like he was at his prime at 147, him versus Boots Ennis could be one of the best fights in the sport. But we need to see him versus Tim Tszyu. I mean, I have no idea what we're going to see. I am excited. And it means July 25th now has AJ properly coming back. And then Errol Spence later on in the night, or even the next morning for us. Is that right? Yeah, about 12 hours ahead. So we might have a little morning fight with the Errol Spence. We might get to go watch AJ, go to sleep, wake up, watch Errol Spence versus Tim Tszyu. I like that.
What we
we've also got Jack Massey and Chev Clark has been added to Zuffa 07.
Terrible fight.
Yeah, I
Zuffa stinks, man. I've done a U-turn on Zuffa. I've actually done a U-turn on Zuffa. Maybe the Muhammad Ali Act changed things, rubbed me up the wrong way a bit, but also they actually have, like, okay, look, from a business point of view, for the likes of the Chev Clarks, and this is a good platform for them to go and win a world title, because chances are Chev Clark's not beating the guys at cruiserweight to become a world champion outside of Zuffa. I'll be brutally honest with
Yeah,
you.
no,
He's
he's not.
good. He's good, but he lost obviously against Vidal.
Yeah, he got battered against Vidal.
And that's
He's
the
not.
guy. That's the guy that's in line to fight for a title. And you have to remember as well, the last fight before that I saw of Chef Clark was against Ellis Zorro, and Ellis Zorro arguably, at times done very well in that fight. So, I haven't seen a best account of Chef Clark. Yeah, okay fight, but Zuffa stink at the moment. Actually, they will continue stinking. I heard a quote from my good friend Greeny, who obviously we know very well, Connor.
Yeah,
At the start of the year, that Dana White will be here to stay. Well, Dana White can stay. He can take part, but when some people have to just stand there and get the refills, that's Dana, man. Because these cards stink. Like these cards stink. Jay, I've said it to you before when we was on the and this is relevant because we're talking about cruiserweights. But I've been in a 1-day argument, on and off all day with a geezer about Jay Opataya and Benavidez, purely on the fact to get him to understand Benavidez and Jay Opataya will not fight as long as Jay Opataya is on Zuffa. Nobody wants to fight for the ring title anymore. It doesn't hold the same weight it held before. The Saudis are owning it now. It's not got that prestigious thing for me. It's the same as the WBO, the WBC, IBF. It's the same as the WBA. All these boards who I also have a problem with, by the way, but nevertheless, they are the boards who hold the most weight in terms of just the best fighters on their rankings. Jay Opataya's got Jack Massey on his rankings.
That's the thing. The cruiserweight top 10 now for Zuffa will be Opataya number 1 or champion. Billum Smith, fair play, understandable with him. But don't get me wrong, Billum Smith doesn't beat. Well, he doesn't beat Benavidez. He didn't beat Zerdo. I'm not convinced he beat Vidal Riley.
I'm not convinced he beat
Badu Jack is still there. Like, there's still guys in the other. But Billum Smith being number 1 challenge, whatever, fine. Then you're talking Jack Massey, Chev Clark, and Brandon Glanton, and that makes up your top 5 fighters at cruiserweight for Zuffa. It's not good. Zuffa have an event this weekend as well, by the way, which is Shane Mosley Jr. versus Serhei Burchuk as the main event. That's not changing boxing. But
Zuffa is stinking the gaff out. I'll be so honest with you, they're stinking the gaff out. And you're not getting. You don't have the most elite fighter they've got is Jay Opataya. With the greatest of respects, I don't want to hear anyone say Conor Ben because he's not world level yet. No. And I say yet because he's still probably got time to do it, but he's not going to do that with Zuffa.
Yeah, he can get there, but Jay is there. Jay Opataya's there. Yeah.
Jay Opataya's there. And deservedly so with the geezer I was arguing with. Yes, he was avoided when he fought the other cruiserweights. I'm not denying that. But what makes him think, or his team, maybe not just him, but his team, this was a great business move to get the best fights?
It's the worst. Honestly, I think it's the worst move that especially him and Conor Ben could have made. Like, Chris Billum Smith is the other sort of one of the bigger names, along with, Berlanga as well. Hitchens, but Hitchinson. But like
Hitchinson, I'm gutted about. I'm gutted about that because I wanted to see him do things.
I think he is good enough that he could. Berlanga, I don't rate that highly.
No.
So I think him moving to Zuffa makes sense for him. He'll make good money
off the back of 2 losses.
Which exactly. I don't know how Zuffa are justifying that as a move, but look, Zuffa's it's weak. It's weak. They're trying to sign people. We know they reached out to Bam Rodriguez, and Matchroom just locked him into a new deal immediately. They didn't. They're not joking. They're not taking. They're not mucking about with some of their fighters. It is what it is. We've got other fight announcements as well. We've got Canelo returning in September against Christian and Billy. That's now officially announced for September. WBC super middleweight title, which is Christian and Billy's world title, by the way. So he's defending, but Similar to this weekend with Wardley. Wardley's the world champion, but email champion. Don't get me wrong, he deserves to be the champion, but really, he'll be world champion if he gets his hand raised against Daniel Dubois, and Billy will be world champion. Don't know what happened there. A bit weird, but apparently went off straight. Anyway, point is, Billy versus Canelo is something that I think we've been saying on the channel we wanted for ages.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying for a while that I think Billy will win, and that's before Canelo started looking slower and lost to Crawford, which Christian Billy's not Crawford, but I do think that's the end of Canelo. I think Christian Billy beats Canelo Alvarez, which is my quite big claim. But
he should just retire, man.
I think so too. What's the point? And they keep saying about this Crawford rematch. It's never happening.
Why bow out on a loss to Christian Billy? Do you understand? But go and look at who Canelo's fought over his career, his whole career, and your last fight is going to be a loss to him, Billy. Nah, you know what? He might not even lose to him, Billy. But if he does, he's stinky.
But even if he wins, right? Okay, so he wins the world title again. He's beat one of the better guys of this new era again. How many times you could do that endlessly? Like this is. I'm just not a fan, and I don't think Canelo will beat Christian Billy personally. I think Billy will win that anyway.
Yeah.
We got Moses Atalma back August 8th at the O2. It was going to be July 25th, but Anthony Joshua got announced. They obviously you're not going to clash with Anthony Joshua. No offense, it doesn't happen.
Still the biggest earner in British boxing, by the way.
Yeah, there's no opponent for that, but yeah, Conor Walker beat Sam Eggington. I really want to just get Conor Walker. Every fight is brilliant. They threw a combined 1,132 punches. I think they landed over 400 on each other. Like it's mental how active those two are. Lived up to it, and TMA Ayton beat Stevie Levy, which is good because I like TMA Ayton, but also Stevie's pretty cool, so it's a bit of a shame, but she'll be fine. And then finally, before we get into the stories that we really, really care about, but to be fair, there's been a lot of good weekly stuff. Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fights, only the exhibitions, not the Pacquiao rematch. So against Benavidez and then Mike Tyson, which actually still doesn't have an officially announced thing. It's not technically announced. I don't know what's going on with that anyway, but they're likely cancelled anyway. So due to Mayweather owes about $7.5 million in tax. The signs, if you read the signs, they're pointing to the fact this guy's broke.
Money Mayweather, man. He's got some money, man. He's broken. Our broke are different, though. I'll be honest with you.
Well, yeah. I mean, there is a point where if you owe $7.5 million, he's got assets. The bloke's fine, but like, he can also just take up the exhibition fight and earn a stupid amount. But like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hear it.
Right. We started talking about it. David Benavidez. First question. Well, firstly, I want to say I'm sorry because I got that very wrong. I thought Zerdo would provide some issues for Benavidez.
No.
He provided the only issue was what to eat that night because Benavidez had no issue with the boxing. It was only deciding dinner that Benavidez might have struggled with. I've not seen a more dominant performance like in what I thought was a close fight in so long.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, where is he? He could go number 3 now. I'd still put Bivol over him, by the way. I'm not saying he's number 3 for me.
Okay, so you've got Usyk and Inoue.
Yeah, that's 1 and 2.
Number
whichever
3,
way you want it, 1 and 2.
Number 3, you've got.
I mean, you got your Bams, Shakur, Bivol. I personally wouldn't have him this high, but you could have Canelo if you want to go down that route. Not for me.
Would you put Benavidez higher than Shakur at this stage?
Pound for pound, yeah. Pound for pound, yeah. He's pound for pound is beating anyone anywhere.
I can't put him above Bivol.
I can't put him above Bivol because Bivol beat a pound for pound star in Beterbiev.
Yeah.
That was number 5 pound for pound versus number 7.
I have always said it though. Gilberto Ramirez I felt like he's held on to them belts for too long.
Yeah, his record's deceiving.
Deceiving.
44.
No. Like you have to respect where respect's due. Before he fought Benavidez, he was 48-1. That is a very, a lot of fights, a lot of wins. Obviously, he had a good win recently against Billam Smith as well. Benavidez is just better than him.
Yeah, but so much better. That's what I wasn't expecting to be so much better.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem you've got is maybe where Gilberto Ramirez was picky over his fight, so that inactivity killed him. I think, and that could have played a part in this fight. To be honest with you, but I still don't think he would have been good enough to fight Benavidez. But it's tough, man. I don't know, man. Like it's hard to say who's going to beat Benavidez because he looks so good at the moment. But he's got to go for Badu Jack and get the other belt.
No, Badu Jack lost. It's oh my god, what's his face?
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, do you know what's mad with Badu Jack here? Bearing in mind, how long has he been a WBC champion for? Yeah, and we're talking like he's actually held a belt of cruiser for a while, but you never know when this guy's fighting. It's mad. It's mental.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He lost the title in December last year. So it's Nora Mikhailin that is the WBC world title from Armenia, who, I'm not being funny, Benavidez will wipe the floor with him. The cruiserweight division is not competitive enough. There's only one fight that I want to see.
Yeah, in that sense, I can understand, and we link it to Zuffer earlier on. I can understand in that sense why Zuffer may look at it and go, or people may look at Zuffer for cruiserweights and go, yeah, I'll fight there. Yeah, the cruiserweight division is very thin. And it's weird because it's probably the only division that doesn't bring a massive amount of good fights to the table. I think Benavidez should go back down to light heavyweight and fight Bivol.
Well, look, the fight I want to see is Opataya. That's the fight I want to see.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. We spoke about it off camera a little bit. You had an Instagram war with someone earlier today about it. Opataya has ruined himself by going to Zuffa.
100%.
No sensible fighter moves and fights for Zuffa. Like, Benavidez is not going to sign for Zuffa just to beat Opataya because then he can't fight anyone else.
Yeah.
And the cruiserweights, there is no one else, by the way.
Yeah,
sorry.
No. Just wanted to say to anyone who's joined the stream, we're having some technical issues, so screen looks a bit frozen on Connor's side. It's too many seagulls where he is over his antenna. But we're still here covering weekly boxing show every week. So if you don't mind a little bit of lag, please stay around. Cheers. A lot of lag in Connor's case, but you get the drift. Benavidez, Opataya has made the worst decision in boxing and gone and fought for a man. You know what? Yeah, you know what it is? It's like them films where you get like the merchant who tricks you into going to buy like dodgy goods, and then like he puts like a sheet over you and kidnaps you, and basically just robs you. Like that's what Dana White's done with Opataya. He's like one of them dodgy merchant films. What's that man out of? Do you know what? I don't know if you will remember this film, but Google. I don't remember. To be fair, I shouldn't remember the film because it was made before my time, way before my time. but for the fact that my nan had me watching it growing up, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, yeah.
All right, I've seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, so you know the geezer that hands out the lollipops with the nose.
Yeah,
nose. That is Dana White. I am calling Dana White him, and I don't know what's happened, but Connor's Wi-Fi has just zipped straight up, and he's back. So yeah, we are back.
Awesome, nice. Yeah, look, my main issue with it is we're looking at it and we're going, Jai Patel has gone to cruiserweight at Zuffa. Fine for the money side, but then let's look at it for what it is. Wayno, by the way, you were bang on. Sorry, I highlighted your comment and we never responded, but you were spot on. Benavidez was way too good. But then we've got Benavidez. That's the only two elite fighters at cruiserweight. I think cruiserweight's the weakest division in boxing. Zurdo is a good fighter and he has beat good fighters. But in terms of the elite, look, not everyone can beat Bivol. I understand that. Not everyone's going to beat Benavidez, but Zurdo's best win is Billum Smith. Billum Smith's a great fighter, but Billum Smith isn't anywhere near being what we would. He was nowhere near the pound for pound, right? Then you've got like C-Slack, who has been around for so long. Vidal Riley, by the way, is now number 6 in the world at cruiserweight. I think Ring Magazine have him 8. I think other boards have him as number 1 contender. He's number 1 contender for the IBF. He should get an IBF title shot. And I'm not being funny because I do like Vidal Riley, and I think he will win a world title. But Vidal Riley's resume for a guy that could then go and win a world title is weak. And that's not his fault. He ain't old, and he's not been in the game that long. So to be where he is very impressive. But and by the game, I mean professional game. He's been boxing since he was about 4 years old. But like, I struggle to see the Opetaya move to Zuffa. Whoever thought that was going to work out is crazy. Because now the only fight we want is Opetaya and Benavidez. And Opetaya can't say he's avoided anymore. He could say that before, but you can't say that now because everyone wants to fight you. But you've literally gone and put yourself in an organization that will not have fighters that aren't signed to them because they need their own way of doing it. Mm. So Opetaya, I don't know who he's going to fight next. It'll be another Brandon Glanton, someone ranked number 10 in the world. Maybe it'll be a C-Slack because these are the guys that aren't quite earning the same amount of money. Benavidez, for me, he's basically undisputed at the division anyway because he can win the titles whenever he wants. So go back down, fight Bivol. That's a fight that I want to see. I do not care about Usyk. I'm sorry. Usyk is too big, too strong.
Just get my charger because I've had low battery come up. But no, I do think Usyk's too big. Too big. Let's stop all of that. Just stop. Please go and look at the height of the two, and just come back to me. The reach, everything else, the size. Yeah. He's too much, man. It's too much. No.
Benavidez, by the way, 196 pounds of the 200-pound limit of cruiserweight. Yeah. He's a small cruiserweight.
Hang on, Connor, one sec.
Yeah, that's all right. Is it a multi-fight contract he signed with Zuffa? Yeah, it is. It is. I think it's 3 fights. But potentially more. Potentially up to 5, but I think it's 3. But like he will get out of it, but there is a point where people lose interest because you're no longer in your prime. And Jai Patel is not a big enough name for me to care in, the rate that some of these guys fight. In 2 years' time, if Jai Patel has still not fought anyone of notable talent and the cruiserweight division keeps going the way it is, I don't really care about what he's going to do in 2 years' time.
No.
Benavidez has just breathed life into this division, and the person who should be next to fight him is not there. That just annoys me. Paolo's just disappeared. I'm going to guess that was by accident. Anyway, we'll carry on. He'll be back in a second. Benavidez versus Bivol. That's the fight. That's the fight I want. That's the fight that makes sense. They both beat Zerdo in pretty spectacular fashion. Obviously, Benavidez knocked him out. Bivol just completely outdid him for 12 rounds. Like, it was beautiful. So Bivol versus Benavidez for the also Benavidez still world champion at light heavyweight. So for the unified undisputed at 175 pounds, and then the winner of that fights Beterbiev, or the other way round. Bivol fights Beterbiev first, but Benavidez, apparently they're in early talks already. And I don't actually know what's going on with Beterbiev. I don't know where the guy is. Who wins, Bivol with Benavidez? Because I'm not sure.
At light heavyweight?
Yeah.
Bivol.
Okay. I think so too. I think so too. I think Bivol's IQ is just... I think it is better. But Benavidez is starting to look like one of these special fighters that you don't see that often. I mean, he's a 12-punch combo. I don't know anyone that does that. Don't get me wrong, one of those punches is with his elbow. But that was an accident, so can't blame him. But, like, I don't know. He's just out of this world. I mean, Beterbiev, Benavidez, I think that's actually a better fight to watch. But
yeah, much better fight. You know, I think Benavidez. I think Benavidez, because Beterbiev is not the same fighter. Beterbiev 2-3 years ago, different story. But now, the longer he's got out the ring, the worse it is for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they fight now, I think it will end bad, especially with the hand injuries he's had as well.
Yeah, true. That's the thing. He's actually been in and out of surgery and injuries as well. I mean, so has Bivol. Bivol had a back surgery, spine issues, but Beterbiev actually had the same thing, which is why he's not been fighting, apparently. I think a prime Beterbiev would beat Benavidez right now. I'm not sure if a 41, 42-year-old would, but I love that fight. Because one thing's for sure in that is Benavidez is going to struggle to get Beterbiev out of there. So he's going to have to do the full 12 with, I won't swear, but a monster, like an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And Benavidez is a monster, but Beterbiev is a different beast in that sense.
Yeah, I hear
it. There's some great fights for Benavidez. Even if he does go up, look, Usyk, I don't think is an achievable goal. I think Usyk is better at everything than Benavidez, except maybe hand speed, but like, you don't need that when you're so good like Usyk is. And a guy that is struggling to hit 200 pounds weight limit is not suddenly going to go and beat a 6'4", full-grown heavyweight in Usyk. Usyk ain't no middleweight like Tyson Fury's been saying. This is a 6'3.5", 6'4", huge fighter now. Just need to look at him in training camps at the moment. The videos that keep getting put up because there's obviously stuff coming out, but like Usyk's that ain't happening. I don't want to see it happen. Turkey's talking about negotiating that fight. I don't want to see it. Have we talked about Wardley Dubois yet? No, we haven't.
Getting on to that one, Wayno. We'll be on to that one.
Let's do it now. We'll do Naoya Nakatani at the end.
Wayno runs the show. Let's do it now.
Wayno runs the show. Okay. So Fabio Wardley versus the Bin Man. Kidding. Don't hurt me, please. That comment, Bin Man comment, seems to have rattled Daniel Dubois more than Anthony Joshua telling him he's going to smash a chair over his head. I've never, Daniel's gone crazy. You see the face off. You can see the muscles in his head moving.
Can I?
I'm
going to be careful what I say here, innit? Because...
Give me a second. I think I know what you're going to say, but...
No. I'm not. I'm going to be very...
Yeah, be careful.
I'm going to be very professional when I say this, but I think there isn't much. It doesn't take much for Daniel Dubois to get angry. But I also kind of think he's very much, what's the word I'm looking for, trained to act a certain way on camera, and told what to do by other people. Because from a fan's point of view, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to him, but he doesn't really seem like the kind of guy who's used to the cameras. He just wants to fight. So I feel like the rest of it, he's kind of has to be coached on and told what to say. Not like a yes man, but
yeah,
I feel like Daniel Dubois is not like he like it would be if you were stuck in. I feel like if you were stuck on a train with him, it'd be a very awkward conversation to have. He's not a very people person.
no, you wouldn't want to be a bus with that guy. Wouldn't have much leg room, but also just
Well, for two reasons. One, if he kicks off, it's just you two on it, you're done. And second of all, also probably doesn't strike me as an in-depth conversation.
No,
we saw him on Fight Week this week actually storm off of an interview as well.
Yeah, I think he's just bored. I don't think he wants to do any showman stuff. Like we've seen him a couple times getting more used to it in the past, on more recent. Especially against AJ, he seemed to quite enjoy it doing all the media.
Yeah,
but I think he's bored. I think he just wants to fight.
I would love, like, there must be a scientist out there who would pay a lot of money to study Daniel Dubois' brain, because I would be really
100%.
interested, just day to day, to get an insight into Daniel Dubois' thinking. I'm trying to be very respectful here, but I just would like to think the way that he is. It's just very a peculiar guy. Very odd guy. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Like,
it would be interesting to see what he's doing day to day, like outside of boxing. He's a fascinating fit. Like he's a really good person to have at heavyweight, to have in boxing, really, because I love watching. Like he's great to watch. He basically, I think all but one of his fights has ended in a knockout. Whether it's him getting knocked, 22-3. He's been knocked out 3 times, and he's knocked out 21 people with the 22 wins. Like, no matter what, the bloke is guaranteed to be a good watch. And then the media stuff is just funny.
Yeah.
How is it? People have said some horrible things to Daniel Dubois, but him getting called a bin man in a small, just very quick-fire media thing that Fabio Wardley had to do is the thing that has absolutely sent him off the edge. But anyway, the bin man and the white collar boxer
I've been
are fighting for a world title.
I've been asked many times. Also, to mention, not just a white collar boxer. In 2017, we are in 2026 now. In 2017, Fabio Wardley worked in recruitment.
Yeah.
He worked in recruitment. Yeah, Wayno, I agree. Hang on, bring up Wayno's comment.
Yeah,
and then I'll go on to. I think next time someone interviews the body, they shouldn't ask them generic boxing. Should ask them about day-to-day stuff. I reckon that way we'd have a better look into the real guy. No, I agree. I actually know a few people that know of him and have been in a gym with him. Obviously, living in sort of northwest London, he used to train around sort of West London way. So I know a few people that have been in a gym with him or just know of him or know him through someone else. Outside of boxing, he seems like a really normal guy. But I'm gonna put it like this, yeah. I think there's a big misconception with Daniel Dubois in the sense of that I think media paint narratives to make him look very stupid. I said it.
No, you're right. They do.
And I don't think that is completely the case with Daniel Dubois. It's hard to not believe the narratives when they're pushed so much in front of your face. But Wayno's right, man. We need to see. Take Daniel Dubois fishing. Take him fishing.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And film it and just see if he catches any fish. Or he just plow him out the water with his hands. No, but going back to it, Fabio Wardley, recruitment, worked in recruitment in 2017. No amateur career, fought on white collar boxing events. Just found out he was really good and just had some strength. Carried on fighting, turned over pro, won British, won a world title. What a story!
Yeah, it's incredible, and I think he'll beat Daniel Dubois. By the way,
do you know what it is? You can never write. I'm never writing Fabio off again because we've written him off in every one of his fights. But that he can lose his fight to Daniel Dubois because Daniel Dubois possesses speed and power, but Fabio Wardley also has a stupid amount of power, and Daniel Dubois we know can get dropped as well.
Yeah.
So it is really, as people said, it's heavyweight boxing. I think it's who's going to hit who harder. I'm not giving no technical to why one will win against the other. It's very simple. Whoever hits who harder is going to win.
Yeah, but that is all this fight is. That's how both of them. Wardley's boxing's been getting a lot better in the last 2 years, 3 years, but ultimately, Justice Hooney was wiping the floor with him. Wardley pulled out just one of them, an insane punch in round 10 or 11 to flatten him out. Done. He won. Joseph Parker fight, Wardley was a lot better. It was a very competitive fight, but again, the knockout wasn't needed, not as much as the Hooney one, but again, he just got that knockout. Like he's impressive, Fabio Wardley. I think the main thing is that Wardley's got a real chin, and you know he's not going to back down. There's no doubt in my mind that Fabio Wardley will keep getting up and keep trying until Daniel Dubois is either out of there or Wardley has to get called by his corner or the ref. Mm-hmm. Daniel Dubois, we've seen what can happen. Look, the second Usyk fight is not a case of that. The second Usyk fight, he just got flattened. Mm-hmm. And that's because Usyk's better. But the Joe Joyce fight was not a good example, but he was young. Then the first Usyk fight, okay, he felt hard done by, fine. We're not going to get into that too much, but he got knocked out by a jab. Mm-hmm. You know, there is a mental thing with Daniel Dubois, and I don't think he's ever fought anyone that hits as hard as Fabio Wardley or as accurately. You know, we've seen Wardley break people's jaws, and not just break them where we find out about it after, where he's put a dent in Fraser Clark's head in round 1. That's not normal. While it lasts, it's going to be a great fight, but I think Wardley will flatten Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
I think he wants it more. I don't know, but
yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one.
Mm.
Flying out to Manny tomorrow, lads. It's just going to be carnage in the ring. Can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Well, the thing it's one of the event itself is going a bit it's a little bit underrated because you've also got Jack Rafferty and Echo Esserman who are going to go hell for leather.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way Rafferty fights, and Echo Esserman will join him. David Morrell versus Zach Chelly, I'm sorry, is just the most one-sided fight I think I've seen. But the fact, well, you know, you're seeing David Morrell, I'm sure you know, but an exceptional fighter. Did the full 12 with Benavidez. Got battered at times, but, you know, David Morrell's extremely good and should be fighting Callum Smith level, not, with respect, Zach Chelly. Liam Cameron and Bradley Ray, I can't see being anything. I see that being good. Khalil Majid versus Gavin Gwynn. Gavin Gwynn, again, another one that really doesn't know much other way to fight than just to get stuck in. And then the weirdest one of the lot, Bakhtir Jalolov, the Uzbekistani 6'7" heavyweight, who 2-time Olympic gold, is on the card as well.
I'll be interested to watch him.
Yeah, he's honestly, that's, apart from the main event, that is the most interesting. This is a bloke that is 16-0 with 14 knockouts, a 2-time Olympic gold, 2-time European gold. Oh God, I can't remember it all. 2-time world's gold. So, like, he's done his amateur. He's one of the best heavyweight amateurs ever. And he would be further along in his pro career if he didn't keep going back to the amateurs. But
that is the way that the fighters out there do things.
Yeah.
It's just the way that their programs are run. amateurs are taken very seriously.
Mm.
Usyk fought in the amateurs for a long time, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's you know, maybe British fighters need to take a note out of their book.
Yeah, potentially get the experience in the amateurs when it doesn't have such an effect.
Yeah, Jalov will be interesting, 100%. It is literally that to invite him to introduce him to the casuals. It literally is that because you know people start seeing him winning. You build a case for him to fight for world titles and
Yeah,
challenge. So
he's
yeah,
fighting. He's fighting Smekichi, who Milkman's harsh, but it's similar to the Ben Whittaker opponents we've been talking about recently. Similar to Christian Prenga, the guy can hit hard because he's a heavyweight. But if you look at who he's been beating, Jalalov will win and should win, and it should be a highlight knockout, like you say, Paolo. It should just introduce him to the UK audience and get him.
Wayno
I'm
said
assuming
that,
he's
not
with
me.
Queensbury.
Wayno said that. I just read what Wayno said.
Oh yeah, my bad. Wayno, you should just come on the show, man. We need a third. But look, Wardley Dubois, we need official predictions. I'm going Wardley. I don't think it will last very long, but when it for the 3 rounds, 4 rounds it does, I think it would.
I'm saying whoever hits who first gets knocked out, and that
No. But who's going to do the hit and who first? Yeah, come on. No fencing, sitting.
I'm gonna say Daniel Dubois.
Okay. We've got a split, and Wayno will get you involved on this because you're going as well. Who do you think will win? And whilst we wait for Wayno, we're going to talk about Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. We'll wait for Wayno's comment as we go.
Fine.
So
I've got 10.
we'll
I've got 10 left
to
anyway. Because that's fine.
Yes, right. Naoya Inoue versus Junto Nakatani. So the event on the whole, very good night for Inoue's family. Takuma obviously won and won convincingly. Noah is just ridiculous. But also, I want to say it's probably the best I've seen Junto Nakatani fight.
Yes.
I thought it was a brilliant fight.
You
were doing the live stream, which went very well.
4,500 views we got there, Connor, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on then. Why not?
Yeah, no, I honestly thought it was I did make a comment, and I got to stand by this comment because I would like to see it run back.
Okay.
Because I think past watching it round to round, after the head clash, I think it made a bit of a difference. Nakatani was struggling to see towards the end because of the blood that was pouring down, not directly in his eye, but where it was here, and then it was coming down there like that.
Yeah.
I think it did make a difference in the later rounds because I knew he just kept targeting it. So I knew he just kept targeting the cut he had, but it was from a head clash. So I would like to see it again, but nevertheless, I think both fighters, up until I had it scored, up until about round. So going into round 7, they were even. I had Inoue winning. By 2 rounds.
Okay.
And I think he won the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Literally towards the end. And the reason I say to run it back is, don't get me wrong, Inoue was amazing in the fight. He won his rounds. Nakatani won his rounds. But I do think that head clash put a bit of a hindrance on it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Do you think Junto's got enough to win that fight then?
I don't know, but I feel like as elite as both of them are, I think he should be given a fair shot at a rematch. But do you know what? In hindsight, I mean, Inoue was just able to either no cut aside. Inoue was getting battered for like a couple of rounds. Nakatani was putting pressure on him, and then I'd
Yeah.
see like basically Inoue counter Nakatani's counter with a counter.
Yeah,
And I'm
some of the
like,
slow-mo clips you
what?
can get of that fight are just stupid. The round 11, the punch that Inoue hit and to break Nakatani's orbital bone, this uppercut, his right leg is off the floor as he throws it. Like, I don't know how that's. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's two of the highest IQs, and I'm very confident to say now because we did doubt it a little. Nakatani is a top 10 pound for pound fighter. Easily.
Nakatani could easily be number one soon.
Yeah.
If not, and I think if Usyk goes down the route of fighting the just not great boxers, then I do think
These like exhibition like fights. And
I think Inoue could be number one, but Nakatani can hold his head high, took it like a champ. Congratulated him. Very respectful people. Great card. There was some great fighters on there. They had a legendary kickboxer fighting on there as well.
they did.
That fight was mental because at the start he was winning it, and I can't remember the guys' names, but his opponent come back with just right hands. He just hit him with like right hands, stunned him.
That's Tomioka and Tanaka.
Yeah,
that fight. I think.
Go and watch that fight back. Watch that fight back from start to finish. I was very impressed by that fight. Obviously, Inouye's brother fought on it as well. Dominated, won his fight, domination. Every single round, I think. But all in all, it was a great card. It was a really good card to watch. I learned about some new fighters. It's mad because I'll be honest with you. If anyone that's here now watched that stream on Saturday, I didn't have a clue who some of the boxers were. But I knew some of them, but I didn't have a clue who some of them were. But I was learning about the fighters. So, look, run Inoue and Nakatani back again, just purely because I enjoyed the first one. But I'm not saying Inoue didn't deserve to win because I think that fight, I wouldn't have been disappointed if the ref gave it either way. It was that close. But I think he did nick the last two rounds. And I think at that point, Nakatani was struggling with a cut, which Inoue exposed more as the fight went on because he just kept targeting it.
Yeah, Inoue won the first. He started strong, finished strong. In the middle is where Nakatani had his. I'd like to see a rematch. The cut, it slowed Nakatani down significantly. And then the final thing I want to say on this, by the way, 650,000 pay-per-view buys on this fight. So don't start saying that boxing in Japan isn't massive because it also did the full 55,000 at Tokyo Dome, only done 3 times before, twice by Mike Tyson, once by Naoya Inoue versus Luis Neri, which means they did $32 million plus gate, which is the highest ever in Japanese boxing. So that actually means that Naoya Inoue has sold more than Mike Tyson. Don't get me wrong, it's in Japan. He should sell more, but that's the biggest fight in Japanese boxing history. It was last Saturday. So well done to both of them. Wayne, we're going to come back to this very proper 50-50. Like the Benavidez comment last week about who's got the most dog in them, you think Wardley will win by knockout, but you have said that both men will touch the canvas. I think so too. I would not be surprised if Wardley has to get up, but I think Wardley getting up is what will destroy Daniel Dubois. That's boxing this week 92. We have got a lot to talk about next week. We will have a British heavyweight champion. I mean, we already do, but we will have one dead set in stone next week. No email champ from next week. Saturday, we are live. Wardley Dubois. I think we're going to go live around 8 p.m, but it could change. So come along whenever you feel. We'll be live, especially for the main event, co-main, first 3 or 4 fights, really. But this stream has been a bit dodgy. I'll be honest, my Wi-Fi has been crap, so I do apologise, but it will be better for next week. It's normally a lot better than this. Hopefully it's been watchable. If not, listening. You can listen on Spotify. I need to set that back up, but we are going to be back on Spotify soon, hopefully. Instagram, TikTok, you'll get exclusive content because not everything can go on to YouTube. Subscribe. You will have hopefully seen it if it has been coming up on stream. I think it has. £50 Amazon gift card giveaway. We're about to hit 400 subscribers, so it's only 100 left before we do the announcement. And like I keep telling you, subscribe. Let us know that you've subscribed, and then you're entered. Not everyone has done that. So of the 400 that we've, that should have entered, we've probably only got about 200 odd. So your chances to win a £50 Amazon gift card giveaway are very good, really. And like, subscribe anyway. Why not? Share to your family group chat because they'll appreciate it. Paolo, anything to say to the lovely people at home?
Two things. First thing, if it hasn't shown up today, because that'll be technical difficulties, but it will be there Saturday. We are also on Kick. Now we have moved away from Twitch and we are going to Kick. So if you are into your streaming, because we're tackling that market as well, our live streams will also be shown on Kick now instead of Twitch. Something that we've made a decision on pretty much today, to be honest with you. So if it hasn't shown up today, it will be on there from Saturday. I will check after the stream's done. In that sense, if anyone's watched that is on Kick, if we have gone live, thank you very much. Please follow us on there. We're not a new platform, but we are new on Kick. So any followers is much appreciated. Like, share, subscribe, all of that jazz. Do it before you end up in a grave.